Okay, let's summarize the immune system now. Just to review, this is for a biomedicine test for the license of acupuncture. In the biomedicine test, there's so much information. In fact, you'll not get so many biomedical questions on this, potentially one or two. Again, it was just for myself and studying. After actually failing this exam before, I really wanted to make sure that I knew all the information in detail. So I try to summarize systems in one page. This is just a strategy for you. If you can write this out, I feel like you're confident, you know, and then it'll raise questions, and then you'll be able to connect information to it later on. Just really makes you know your stuff really well, which is what they want you to do, particularly in these adaptive tests. You answer one wrong, they'll ask you another one, yeah. So let's get into it. Immune system. So at the top here, let's just put the title, immune system. I'm going to go through the ideas of basophil, eosinophils, the ideas of immunoglobulins. So let's start with the leukocytes, the white blood cells. So it's important that you don't get mixed up between a leukocyte and a lymphocyte, even though they represent a kind of similar thing. Leukocytes, leuko is white, right? So leukocytes, and they are just literally white blood cells. The mnemonic here to remember is Ben-L-M. I try to remember that because it is Ben, B-E-N, and then L-M. B is for basophil, right? Basophil, I would say. Eosinophil, right? Neutrophil. And this one is for lymphocyte. And this one is for a monocyte, right? And then we can branch this one off again to B cells and T cells of different types of lymphocytes. Now, let's get into it. What do you have to remember about a basophil? Yeah? The base, yeah? What is it about that? Well, the main thing you have to think about, it comes about, and it's particularly when you get allergic reactions or allergies, right? In eosinophils, the big key here is parasites, but also viruses. Parasites are viruses in that sense, right? Neutrophil, just think bacteria. So these are the main, pathogens that will enter the body, and the responses from the white blood cells, will be the neutrophil will address more the bacteria, eosinophils address parasites and viruses, and basophils address the allergic reactions, right? When we're thinking about the lymphocyte here, that is more viral kind of conditions, right? We can also think of chronic infections and inflammation. I haven't made that clear, but just chronic infections and inflammation. Here, just chronic for the monocyte, just more the chronic infection, right? In the B cells, think about them as fighting. Remember, this is just a very quick summary. You're going to have to research and understand this. It's best you do a course on this. But what is the summary? What is the take home from that? And when the test question comes up, how are you remembering that information? This is what this dump sheet or cheat sheet is about, right? You write it out before the exam, or even if you just have it in your mind, you're so much clearer about the whole process and how it fits together and how these things are related, right? So T cells, so B cells, we say they fight known bad guys. Yeah, B for bad, bad. Yeah, B cells. T cells, they only fight misbehaving. So these are known bad guys. We already know at the party these guys who got extra, and we know they're already going to be troublemakers, right? These ones are just ones that we don't know, but suddenly they become misbehaving. Yeah, they start producing all sorts of problems. And there are so many types of T cells, including helper cells, memory cells, effector cells, So I don't think we have to go into that much detail, but just remembering they fight misbehaviors, right? And where do the T cells, where did that T come from? You can write that if you like. That originates in the bone marrow, but is actually processed. That's a key word. Originates in the bone marrow, but processed in what? T. Where does the T come from? It comes from the thymus. Yeah? So when we think about that, we think, where are the T cells or the lymphocytes, T cells produced? Well, they're produced in the thymus. Yeah? They're kind of questions you get in these biomedical exams. Immunoglobulins. Let's have a look at immunoglobulins. The key mnemonic here is gamed. G-A-M-E. Game, and then with the D on it, right? Gamed. So the way they're written normally is the small I-G, small g, then G-A-M-E-D, right? So what do we have to remember? What are the keys to questions about these things? IgG is the one that can cross the placenta, give you immunity prior to birth, right? A, mother's milk. So it doesn't cross the placenta, but it gives you immunity from your mother's milk, yeah? And this prevents pathogens that way, right? M is the first. Think about the first to appear when we get a problem, right? E is, think allergic, and the histamine reactions, right? And D, well, you just think of it as a receptor for, there's less known about that, but receptor for B lymphocytes, not leukocytes, lymphocytes. Leukocytes are white blood cells, lymphocytes are part of the white blood cells, right? So you can even link that part back to the B cells here, right? So that gives you a good summary. If you can write that out many times, I think you're just a lot clearer about how this all connects together. I think these are the kind of keys. You might get a trickier question than that if it's really detailed. I think about Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the key to that is that it spreads. Lymphomas are very common, right? You probably get a question on that. It spreads in a orderly manner. Orderly is the key. Okay, so that's just my summary for immune system. Look, sometimes you might not even get a question on it. I just feel like summarizing in one, having a strategy, having a dump sheet, writing those things out every day, just gives you super confidence in lots of different areas before you go into the exam. Good luck.